Okay, I just kind of want to take us through some work on defensive positioning. I want to talk about kind of your basic kind of midfield defense and kind of what we're going to be doing as our kind of base defense and where we're going to fill. So basically, your responsibility in your lines is what I'm going to go through here. Defensive player. First, let's just start with the 9. Nine's responsibility, in my mind, is going to be mirroring the 9. You're going to pressure the 9 coming as the ball comes out of the scrum here. You need to be careful that you don't get offside, but you're there pressuring the ball as it comes out. Our general rule for defense, as the ball moves out to the 10, and that line's attacking. Our base defense is an inside-out track, so you can take away the 1/2, the inside half, so they only have one option there. And so defensively, we're going to come up in a flat line, inside tracking here, and same thing from the 13. I only want to see 3 to 5 meters between my 10, 12, and 13. We're going to come out, and we're going to come up, and we're going to come out with that back line. Don't be scared off by if there's a whole bunch of space here. We're going to still remain tight in that center group, 3 to 5 meters apart in these gaps here. Is all I want to see. Okay. From there, our outside winger, we're going to have an outside track. So he's the only one I'm going to have come up, and you can sometimes have the fullback fill outside, but in our case, we're going to do an outside track there. So inside track through 10, 12, 13, our fly half, standoff, and centers. Okay, and then we're going to have our fullback as they approach the line, and as this ball moves down the line here, if the 15 say jumps in here or the 15 jumps in outside, either way we're going to have our 15 fill the line as needed here, and so then we get that kind of nice line eventually filled in. Our 15 obviously is going to stay back as long as it can as part of the kick defense. As that 15 starts to move up and have to join into the attacking side here, I'm having them fill in between the outside center and the winger. Then we're going to have our 11 cover their kick return responsibility. And so it's kind of a revolving gate with those 3. So that's our basic backline defense. What you're going to see is that we need to make sure we call our switches within the centers. If there is switch, 10, 12, and 13 need to communicate those. But this is how we're going to handle kind of our rush defense. Now the 10 usually has some help from the 7 here releasing. Usually have 8 releasing along here. 6 is going to probably stay home for blindside first, but then start to fill across. And so then we have kind of a second line of defense as well. We want to make sure we have good line speed from our base defense here, and that we want to get up and we want to take away that magic space of the opposing 10 and put pressure on their back line. My rule of thumb is, as the ball moves, and I'm just going to clear here for a second, as we approach with that line speed, if the ball moves 2 passes beyond you, I want you in a backfill kind of scenario, because at that stage, the likelihood of the 13 doubling back a pass, 2 passes, miss back inside is unlikely. And so that 10 I want just tracking along the back line. So if they had to, they could cut off the outside. But also if there's a line break anywhere in here, then that 10 with their head up is able to make that tackle as well. Or like I said, if somehow they get the ball on the outside, you're taking a line so you could cut off that outside on that backfill defense. But our basic defense is just going to look like this. Like I said, we're getting that kind of inside-out track, wall here, coming up together on our base defense. Outside track on the outside man here, and our 15 is filling here, and our 11 is filling across to cover kind of that kick option. Now, if perchance they end up exactly the same opposite, if they had the ball on the other side of the field, okay, the wingers always stay home on their side. Notice the 11 and 14 didn't switch sides, but it's the same kind of thing. Inside track, inside track, inside track, outside tracking on here, and this time around, 15 fills here, the opposite wing fills their spot. So it's a revolving gate here. Sorry, our back 3
need to be communicating all the time and sliding as needed in that kick defense. And that's basically it for our base back defense and our understanding of that.